How funny of a song. We're back again. Talk Fit's back. We're back. It's been a minute. Welcome back to Talk Fit. Took a little hiatus. We had quarterfinals, life happening, and then I said, hey, Rebecca, we're taking 2 weeks off because you need to study for that level 3. Here it comes. And you took the test and
I got it. Passed. I know.
Passed
yes.
level 3.
It's done. It's done.
Unofficially, technically, we haven't gotten the certificate from CrossFit yet, but we're just waiting on them to send it, right? So yeah, that's very, very exciting. We now have 2 level 3s here at our gym.
This has been like, I don't want to say a monkey on my back, but I mean, truthfully, I took this test before and did not prepare. I guess I wasn't really informed. I should have been informed better on the preparation needed to happen. I think I assumed it was like a 60-question test. Completely wrong. It was 160 questions, 3.5 hours.
You didn't know that the first time?
No. So I sat down and I was like, oh my goodness. I saw 1 out of 160 questions and about 3.5 hours to get everything done. So this time around, I would say I had like a 900% increase in preparation.
That's fair, yeah.
For what I did last time. So it was good. Everybody here, and then especially my home life, amazing, because mom kind of checked out a little bit in the evenings, was reading through my PDFs, reading through all my information, watching videos, and definitely felt way more prepared going in this time around. So
amazing.
It was,
super proud of Rebecca. Done.
Yes.
So I looked, because I care about things like this. I think it's fun to know. There are currently, because Rebecca's not on the list yet, 113, so 114 level 3s in Texas. That's the entire state of Texas. We have almost like 235, 240 members. So there are more members at Grand Mesa than there are level 3s in the entire state. So that's a really, really cool thing. Really honored to
what
be
got
with
me
level 3.
thinking about that too, and why that was impactful when Josh posted that last week was there was something I saw on Instagram as well, on even in the world of jiu-jitsu, the people who start off as white belts, the very small percentage go on to blue belts, and then the black belts, which is like, I'm not saying like a level 3 is a black belt, but there's a ton of, just at where I do jiu-jitsu, I want to say now there's maybe 7, 8 black belts like at that location, and there's quite a bit. So for me, that kind of drove the point home on very, very few people who get to like even aspire or challenge themselves to rise above what the credentials are to participate in like a sport or methodology. One of the cool people on seminar staff, Steve Haydock, is a level 4 and like a 2nd degree black belt.
That's awesome. That's a
so
very
it's like, can you imagine?
Little percentage in both camps.
There's
like what you said, I think 40 level 4s in Texas. So like, that's our next step. We'll be honing in on our coaching skills, become level 4 soon. Because we care, right? Like it's not so we can brag about it, but it's because we care. We want to help everybody.
It's not for like our accolades. It's because it's the right thing to do for our members and our affiliates. So
we should probably do an episode on like what level 1 is, what level 2 entails, just so to help y'all know a little bit more about that.
Whether you aspire to coach at all, like I am a huge fan of taking that weekend off in person, do that level 1 seminar to see. Just to sit down and listen to the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum.
Oh, it's amazing.
That was what had the most impact on me. And to this day, like, why would I not want to be the fittest in every aspect of my life? As far as the biomarkers, heart rate, body fat percentage, time to take a mile. You can see everything kind of fits in that spectrum. So
that's why we log our scores. Which kind of leads into today's topic. We're going to talk about CrossFit as a sport, competing, all of those fun things. What's it look like? And if I said that and you like immediately tuned out, you're like, I don't care about logging my scores. Stick around. We're going to talk about that. We're talking about why we log our scores. We're going to talk about how we can be healthy in competition, whether it's at day-to-day or going to local comps, aspiring to be like some of our amazing athletes, like Addison, going to semis last year and training hard, and so talking about all that stuff. So
when I first started CrossFit, I had no idea there was even a games. Okay, I started in 2010. I know there was a Games 2009. I think when I first
2009 was the first one, right? So yeah.
When I first joined, the buzz on some of the people that were here, they just came off something called sectionals. It's called sectionals. It happened in Camp Mabry in our area, and that was the step before people went on to qualify for the games. And it was pretty cool. I have no idea what that was. So then they streamed the games that year. It was insane. We had like the TVs going, and that was the year, I believe, that it was Froning's first year. They opened up with the national anthem, and then as soon as the flyover happened, Dave Castro had the 3-2-1 timer going, and they took off on Amanda, which was
awesome.
The ring muscle up full snatches. It was like, what is this? Like, there was a lot of thought behind it. So that was like my first exposure
what a time.
to what the top echelon of the CrossFit competition life was. Me personally, first starting at CrossFit, I had a background like in volleyball and all that, but I never had, I think me and Christopher at the time were doing like indoor soccer. Like, I just love competition in any type of facet. So then I started to kind of pick people in the room, like, oh, I'm good at this, but she's a lot better at me than this. And we found people within ourselves to kind of compete with.
Yeah.
For me, that person was Crystal Wright. Still, I think, still lives in our area. She ended up crossing a little bit, but it was like, beautiful, gorgeous woman who was incredibly fast. I think 125 pounds soaking wet, but incredibly strong for what her size was. Like, the strength to weight ratio, I was just like, wow. And so that's who I kind of I migrate towards her and try to, keep up and try to get to the level that Crystal was at. For me, that was my first exposure for what competition was here.
Yeah.
I didn't actually, sign up for my first competition until something called Fight Gone Bad was going on in the area. It was happening all over the world. It was a fundraiser. It doesn't exist right now. It's just some silly little copyright thing that this, battle that somebody fought. But it was my first experience with a competition in CrossFit. It was so much fun because I've never experienced, like, I've done team sports before. We want my team to win. I want your team to lose. And CrossFit is a completely different thing. Everybody's kind of competing, but everybody wants everybody in the space to do really, really well.
Yeah.
So that was completely new. It was super welcoming and exciting. So that was me. I don't know.
That is a different perspective for CrossFit. Yeah, we'll dive back into that a little bit later. But CrossFit started out, I think I've told a little bit. First, I drank the Kool-Aid hard when I first started CrossFit, like most people that jumped in. Was watching one of the games documentaries on Netflix when they're still on there. They're on YouTube. If you haven't watched any of those, like, you're missing out. First off, like, what are you doing with your life? Go sit down for that hour and a half. Amazing, great behind the scenes footage, stuff like that. But so that was my first kind of into the games, because I started, I think, in June, so I missed the Open that year, obviously, and kind of came in around, I think is that the year they're still doing regionals? I don't remember exactly, but that process was working towards the game, so a little bit before the games got happening. So that was like my first instance, was watching the games documentaries, and then there were some local comps that people and then some coaches were doing in our gym, so I went and watched that, and I was like, oh, that's fun. Grew up playing sports as well, so I always had that kind of innate competitiveness. That's kind of what drove me a little bit. So, but my first official competition was the Open the next year, right? That is a competition technically. Not technically, it is a competition. But then I didn't sign up for a in-person competition until probably 2021 was Power Hour with Chase and Luke and Tyler.
Yeah.
The four of us did Power Hour. That was a good time. Power is a different one. It's a little different. It's 1 hour of competition, like lots of different workouts to fit in that hour. It's not an all day.
Luke, the one who used to cut his hair?
Oh, Luke. Love Luke. Miss him. Come back. No. So that was probably my first competition. If it wasn't that, I might have them backwards. Ariel and I did the Bethany Shadburn Throwdown right before she left from Streamline to move, I think, to Las Vegas at the time.
That just came up in my memories yesterday.
She was still Shadburn and not Flores. So that was... One of those two was my first comp. I don't know which one officially was because that was like timeline, but both were kind of the same concept. But yeah, then I don't remember what else I've done, but yeah, they're really fun. I love the aspect of like, kind of like if you did track in high school or anything like that, you like set up the tent, you're there all day, you're hanging out with your people, you go and watch other people do their events, you yell for them, you get excited about them competing, then you go and do your event, they're excited for you, and it's everybody's like cheering for everyone. But with that, I was the same way. I was always chasing somebody. Daniel Mathis was my rabbit when I first started CrossFit. He was a coach at my first gym. I still a little bit of rabbit. I'll check in on him on the open, even though he's in the Masters divisions now. But I'm still chasing him. So it's a good time when we catch up at different comps and stuff. We'll run into each other and stuff like that. But yeah, I've always loved competing. So that's day one was probably my first competition, right? Because it's like, oh, there's something on this. There's points I can win. How do I do that? So yeah, that's kind of how I first started. Now I do way too many qualifiers, and I'm literally doing 2 different events right now, online stuff. So just got done with that. That's why we're a little chalky.
Oh yeah. And then we're both signed up for the
BCS qualifiers. There's still time to sign up for that. There's 4 workouts. They're wonderful workouts. All of the money goes to Mayhem Mission for that qualifier. So even if you just sign up and don't even do the workouts, like it's like $40 total that are going to Mayhem Mission. So, but yes, competition.
So that's us, right? Obviously, we both are super bought into what the competition aspect is of CrossFit. So I will say, it's not everybody's aspiration to do the competition side of CrossFit, and that's totally fine.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not, and I want to say, I want to be an environment here that is very accommodating and encouraging for people who do have those aspirations. However, we also want it to be a very healthy environment. Yes. We don't want the peer pressure part of it. We had plenty of people participate in the open workouts with this year that didn't actually register for. Right off the bat, I'm thinking of one particular person I'm talking about who's incredibly fit, but for himself knows, if I were to sign up for a competition, I would take it to a very unhealthy place, which is great to have that self-awareness, right? But still participate, still do the workouts with us. It's important to have kind of that self-awareness as well, which we encourage people just for their planning's sake. Hey, when we send out that Saturday night email, the workouts that are coming out for the week, take a look, see if you need to pack running shoes. But if you're also the type of person that kind of has the anxiety of like, this is going to take me to a place I
Diane's coming up. I'm going to go crush those handstand push-ups and deadlifts.
I'm going to load up a weight I have no business loading up on because I know I should be doing this, or I know I've gotten this score before. It's not the intent. That's not, it should always be obviously us moving correct mechanically. We're hitting whatever the intended stimulus is. More than you got to have fun here.
Yes.
Right. As soon as you take that fun out and there's anxiety that's tipping the scales, let's have a talk. Let's take a step back and reevaluate, our why and why we're doing this in the first place.
I think our first and foremost, like, we're here for fitness. We're here for health. We want people to get healthier. That's our job. Yeah. That's the intent of CrossFit as a whole. The competition side of it is a bonus. Like, it can be the fun thing, right? Like, I didn't like going to the gym and trying to figure out what I was going to do by myself. Yeah. I come to CrossFit because there's other people chasing health and, competing a little bit. We have that leaderboard. That for me is fun. If it's not for you, that's where we talk about that, like, healthy, like why and what we can do to make it fun still. Maybe we can compete in a different way. That's an important part. Like, we're health first, which we want it to be fun. And some of that fun is this internal competition from our own people. But knowing who you are and not taking it to an unhealthy level where every day we're like looking at the leaderboard and like, oh no, I don't know about their reps. That wasn't good. I could have done better. Why didn't I load up that? Or why didn't I do this? That's a little unhealthy. We don't want to be focused on that.
So. You notice that too, like, within here, the back and forth is fun. The competition is good. But when you see this, you're always looking at the person next to you. I had a funny post back over here on the Crystal Falls location where there was a rowing workout, and it was more funny than anything. But on the rowing work, I have a picture of Peter straight up looking at the person next to him at the console on the rower, and the caption was, "Eyes are on paper, Peter." Like,
Yeah.
It's fun to have the back and forth, but don't let the competition be the only thing, and don't make it a negative thing to where you're like, I don't know that person hit full range of motion. I don't know if they hit all the reps. Well, it has nothing to do with you and your performance.
You can only control what you do, right? You
exactly.
know what you did, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with the coaches know as well, that believe me, they can see who's hitting the stimulus, but at the same time, you're responsible for your own development. There's a thing called personal accountability. Everybody has it here. Whatever it is, if you're trying to achieve here, that's fine. We're doing the best we can to create that environment, provide you with the tools, the teaching, and the accountability that we can provide. But ultimately, you yourself are doing the reps, and how you feel about this 1 hour and your performance that's going to be dictated by you personally, no one else.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Reason why we're bringing this up right now. So we just came off of the Open.
Yes.
A few of us came off of quarterfinals, and a bunch of us got to see semifinals that just got done. We had 3 weeks of that, and these are, what do you say, 1% of whatever of the world. These are the top echelon.
It was the top 40 of each region, and that region was 25% of each of those regions.
Yeah.
So do the math and then look at the numbers. So it's 1%.
I mean,
maybe
we
might be a smaller percentage than 1%.
We weren't competing, but went through ourselves the roller coaster of emotions because the people we cheer for and we know, and I was brokenhearted 1 minute and elated like the next minute for certain people. And so most of these people, this is their full-time job now. This is what they do. They're hitting 2 or 3 workouts a day for the most part. Unless you're Clay Gallant, then you are like a totally different animal.
Yes.
But these other people on semifinals. It's a job for the most part on these people. So for them not to reap the benefits or not have what their goal was of this entire year of preparation and training, it's pretty heartbreaking. Whereas these people who are the top 10, 11, whatever the number was for region, we're going to get to go watch them at the next step in August at the games in Texas this year. So. So we found out it was in Texas, and we knew we were going to go.
Locked in and started saving.
Yeah. But, it's also kind of the fun thing where, we have a unique experience within CrossFit because those people that we're going to go watch went through the steps that we went through, right, to get to where they're at now. You guys, you can say, Bethany and, Jason Hopper had to go through you. Bethany had to go through me before they made they earned their spot to get to their games. Kind of a funny, weird way to look at it. But when you look at a football game on the weekend, or you're looking a Premier League soccer, it's a different. People are fans, but don't necessarily compete in the same sport as those people that they're watching.
Yeah, we compete against the game's athletes when we sign up for the Open. We may not be close to their scores, but we get to compete against them, and that's a really cool thing that we get to do in CrossFit. And then it's fun too. We can look at those workouts and we can be like, okay, I can do that workout, or maybe not to the time cap. Maybe I have to scale it to hit the stimulus that workout is, and that's a really fun, cool thing to do. We'll probably see some of these semifinals workouts in the next few weeks. Scaled to our abilities in here, but the
program was amazing. There's almost all of them we can do in these 4 walls here. So
absolutely, So
Fight Gone Bounce, our first one. That was
so we just came off semifinals. That was a big thing. Fun to watch. And I always get fired up during this. Obviously I love the Open, right? And that happens. And then quarterfinals, got to do that this year. Awesome. And then semifinals, getting to watch that. And then the games. I feel like we get a little bit of motivation from those things. And it kind of trails into, okay, I want to go do a competition, or I want to sign up for these qualifiers and stuff like that. So that's what I like about this time of year is I'm jazzed. Not yet. There wasn't anything like new presented, but at the games, there's usually a new movement that you'll see us all trying out here in the gym after we find that. And that's what I love about watching the competition. It gives us something to reach for, right? We become stagnant. That's why I joined CrossFit, as I was stagnant in like what I was doing. And CrossFit, there's always something new to be reaching for, a new weight, whether a new movement, a new time. And so competing with yourself is a really big part of CrossFit. So if you're somebody that's like, I don't really like the leaderboard every day, day to day, I don't want to log my score. Well, you should log your score. Just don't look at the leaderboard. If it doesn't help you in your life, that's fine. Don't look at the leaderboard. Log your score, because you can only know if you've gotten better if you've logged something and written something down. That is a big, I firmly believe that's what makes us as CrossFit different. We are measuring our fitness. Before Greg Glassman, like, there was no definition of fitness. There was no measurement of, quote, fitness. We could track how fast somebody was. We could track how strong somebody was, but what is fitness? Greg kind of put that out, increasing work capacity across broad time and modal domains. Essentially, how fast can you do this workout? And all of these different workouts. So
yeah,
it's an important part of what we do inside of these walls. Log your stuff so that you can see the progress, because there are days that you're gonna be like, man, I just feel like I haven't gotten better at anything. Well, if you don't have anything to look back at, you're gonna sit in that weird plateau and be like, and feel that way, and maybe get discouraged, and maybe end up stepping away for a minute and not coming in here. But if you have those scores, we can help you be like, hey, when was the last time you did a pull-up? Never? Okay, look, you just did one. Like, that's so much better. Well, I can't do it in a workout yet. That doesn't matter. You did a pull-up. Like, that's huge. So log your stuff always. I would say that every time we talk. Log your stuff.
Yeah.
Firmly believe in that.
And it may just be like somebody, maybe for them hearing the word competition has like a weird like negative connotation. Maybe that's not the right word you want to hear. But I mean, just if you want to think of it as like, I'm just challenging myself.
Challenges,
or something, like, that's totally fine. But what we don't want to happen is, people get, this is a competition gym. And I don't think that at all about us. Like I said before, we want to be accommodating. We want to just be very encouraging of people who like to do those things on the weekend. For me, some of my favorite weekends were something about this gym too. Whenever we sign up for a local CrossFit competition, we roll deep for people that are competing and people that are coming to support.
That's right.
And so, like, we already have on our schedule places that we know we're going to go. We're excited about. Well, obviously here with the internal, we have Whitetail Nighttail that's coming up.
Yeah.
I think the 14th. So like a couple Fridays from now. That thing sold out quick. The Open. How many people did we have sign up for the Open this year?
Oh, we had a ton of people. We were close to that 100 mark.
I don't know. We went really close to 100.
Really close.
And for me, what that says is that people feel safe here.
Yeah. Yes.
Because they don't feel like, the competition is the only thing. They feel like they are going to be supported and encouraged on whatever that workout is. If they fall short of a goal, hey, there's hugs for you no matter what at the end. When the timer goes off, time is done, or the work is done, people are there celebrating because we are all very like-minded and we support the effort. We're all in kind of what we call the suck together. So it's pretty cool that the amount of people have kind of bought into this supportive group here. We're all working towards the same goal, the longevity. I feel like, I'm 43. I don't think I'm going to stop competing anytime soon on local comps. I feel good. I feel like a lot more responsible as far as like managing nutrition, taking care of my body. I know a lot more now about why certain movements will make me more sore than others. I know, it's so funny. And not, giving feedback to the members here. But at the same time, like, if you have no aspirations of doing local comps with the members, you're still like, hey, okay, we'll just hang out with us, be with us, be in this environment with us, and let's progress together. Let's grow old together.
Yes.
And a big part of that is, like Josh said, logging your scores. And making sure everything is trending the way you want to see it trending. Okay? The strength numbers, like you brought up Greg Glassman. Another great one is, we should be trying to blur the lines on strength and speed and conditioning. Like everything should be trending together as well. Like we want to get stronger. We want to get stronger at the high intensity levels as well. So it's a very unique environment within a CrossFit gym. Nobody, you're going to have a hard time. You're very introvert, don't want to interact with people because we want to know you, and we're very much in, how'd you do? How was that workout?
Yeah.
Was that the right call as far as the weights? How can we do better? And let's help you after class. We're very much in each other's lives, at least within this, as far as your fitness life. So that's a big thing why I enjoy the CrossFit part of it. Never enjoy people making other people feel self-conscious. You're witnessing people making them feel self-conscious because they're trying to aspire to be better. This is not the four walls you want to be in. If you ever make people second guess themselves or trying to challenge themselves or be better, this is not the place for you. So
no,
if I'm being blunt about it,
we care about each other here.
Yeah.
My favorite part is like finishing a workout, dying on the floor for a minute, standing up, like still dying, right? But then like being like, hey, like fist bump, how'd it go for you? Like, how'd it go? What was it? And then talk about like, oh yeah, well, my time was this, and like, okay, that's awesome. Like, what do you need to work on now? Like, what was it? What was the hard part of that workout? Great, now we know that. Let's attack it.
Yep.
Work on those things. We'll talk about attacking skills and focusing on things that we're bad at and stuff on another podcast. But caring about each other. Like when I ask you like, hey, how'd it go? Like that's me caring about like how your workout went. That's not me asking so that I can be like, oh yeah, I beat you by 10 minutes. No, well, first off, I beat you by 10 minutes. I scaled inappropriately. That was wrong on my part. But point being, like that's not why I ask, and that's not why anyone else is asking. And if they are, like, let's get their mind right. We ask because we care about how you did on that workout. We ask because we want to know like what was a struggle for you, or like where'd you kick butt today? Like, like I finished in 5 minutes, and that's like 30 seconds faster than the last time I did this, but the last time like I was feeling this way, or I didn't have pull-ups yet, I was doing ring rows, like, oh, I was 30 seconds slower, like whatever it is, like through those conversations is how we see how we progress. And like sometimes it takes someone else telling you like, hey, just so you know, like you didn't do this last time, you did that this time, so even though your time was slower, you improved, right? Like that can be a hard thing to see, I think, for people. Like
Alyssa down here right now, she I think RX Diane for the first time this week. And just me being self-aware, like I'm 43, there's some stuff I'm not as fast as I was on. I can still PR some things. It's just kind of like cool to me. Armando just PR'd what did he PR recently? Was the deadlift that he still PR'd or something? Oh,
he's PRing on everything. I know. Man, stop it.
But it's like, but it's exciting for me too, because you have this group. For me, like the ladies are just getting better, and I'm getting surpassed, and I'm geeked out about it because Ashton's been coming here since she was 18, 19 years old, and something about this girl's performance incline the past like 2 years, it excites me. Coming off like the open, I told her, oh my gosh, you're like Neo from the Matrix right now, because like this new skill you're so much better at than you couldn't do before.
Just crushing it.
So like we got done with the open, we got done with quarterfinals, like just this year, what's gonna happen? Because your attendance has been amazing, you're taking care of your body, you're scaling when you need to, smartly on some days, but at least you're showing up. I don't mind. I get geeked out getting surpassed by the gals here at the gym. Because I have a hand in that too. Rub
it in our faces when you beat us. Right? Like we shouldn't be at the top of the leaderboard every day. Y'all should be beating us too. Like we're not the best, and like it is cool. Like as a coach, like when an athlete that you've been coaching and like helped get a skill, how they keep progressing with that, and then they kick your butt one day, you're like, heck yeah, I did something right. Like I made you better a little bit that day, and then you kept crushing it, and like that's a beautiful part.
I'm not always going to give it to you though.
That's right. Like the days you do beat me, I obviously wasn't feeling good, right? No. Like it's a real thing. Like we want to be beaten. We want to see that like y'all are progressing. We want to see how awesome y'all are doing. That's the beautiful thing about what we do here is like we get to see that rate of return. There's some things in life where you can coach people or do things and like you don't get to see that return, but like in here we see it like in a month or two for people that are just starting out, like going from not being able to squat to parallel to being able to squat to parallel to being able to go below parallel, whatever it is. And I think all of this to say we scale sometimes. It's a big thing. We compete, right?
Like today.
Yay, that's what I'm talking about. We should not be competing every day. There's a difference in like competing and working hard. There's a difference in 100% and finding a high intensity, right? We hear high intensity and I think a lot of us are like, okay, I've got to empty that tank all the way. No, there's times for that. Diane, we did Diane this week. That's a named workout. We're going to see her again. That may be a day for you to like, let me sell my soul. I am going to feel miserable the rest of the week because I want to absolutely crush this. Great, let's spend 100% on that. But if we're going to do that on Diane, the rest of the week, we're not going to be able to. And that's okay. We should be able to find a high intensity still, all of that.
High intensity doesn't mean max intensity.
No, there's a difference, big difference. And if you're going 100% every single day, you're not going to be able to go 100% one day. And then you're going to have an issue. Like we've got to work toward finding what high intensity is, hit that stimulus, don't crush it absolutely, and then recover, obviously. And being able to keep on going. This is training, like especially if you want to do competitions. Like every day in here is a training day. It's not a competition day. And so knowing the difference of that, learning when to pull back a little bit, knowing when to scale is big. Learning those scales is important. And we've said it before, just because you scale doesn't mean like it's a lesser workout. I tell Ariel all the time, I'll be like, oh dang, you beat me today. And she'll be like, I scaled. I'm like, you still beat me. That your time was faster than my time. That means that you did it appropriately, like you crushed it, and that's what matters. So just because the scale leaderboard's separate from the RX leaderboard, that doesn't matter. Like you beat me on a time, like you beat me on a time. That's what matters. And way to go. It's fun. I like when people beat me. It's a good time because that drives me a little bit more. Like, oh dang, they're catching up to me. I better work harder.
And Leslie's in charge of programming, so if you beat him, he may program that again.
Yeah, don't you worry. I'll make sure. No. It's good stuff. Not 100% all the time.
No.
Hold that integrity.
And really, we just, again, the most positive environment we can make of those people. I mean, be supportive of people that you see yourself competing with, but the big thing, be supportive of yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Mm-hmm. Be realistic on what your goals are. If a workout comes up and, for female, if it has like a 95-pound snatch, yourself, your max is like 85, can't get angry at yourself. If you can't perform to how the workout's written. I say it all the times, like even the workouts here, sometimes numbers are kind of arbitrary. It's just saying where the sport is at the time. So
sometimes I just make it up.
Yeah. You can't get angry for the work that you didn't do before that, if that makes sense, right? Be realistic with yourselves, scale appropriately. But if a workout does come up in a competition, like I can't do that, do what you can. Or sit down with the coach and like, hey, before you sign up for a comp, let's make sure that we're signing up for an appropriate category of what it is you're trying to do.
Yes.
Ton of resources here, right?
Notes on that, yeah. Go ahead, keep cutting.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. I would just make a little note for.
Yeah. Use your resources here to make sure that we're not setting goals that are kind of lofty because the last thing we want to do is for your spirit to be crushed, right? We want you to challenge yourself appropriately. We're big fans of the competition part of it, but at the same time, as why there's so much pressure on people who do the programming here within the gym, we have to challenge the highest level, the highest fitness level, at the same time not crush somebody. So we do have people here that were collegiate athletes, right? We need to make sure that they're not bored and they're challenged. At the same time, we are people that are coming in from straight off the couch. And I'm sorry, if I was coming into four walls and I was constantly defeated every single day, feeling crushed, like I don't like that. There's a difference between like me, breaking through mono barriers, but at the same time, if I don't feel like I am having just some wins, I don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah, if you're not having wins, it's not fun, right? Like you got to have something.
Yeah. So same thing when you you find yourself, okay, I'm at this point, I've been doing CrossFit for a bit and I like to start signing up for CrossFit competitions. Have that talk with the people who are working out with you, people or the coaches that you normally see, and say, hey, I want to sign up for this. They haven't released the workouts yet, but they did release, like, this is the type of what you should be doing. Use your resource here to make sure you're signing up for something that makes sense with whatever your experience is with CrossFit and whatever your aspirations are long term. Okay. Sometimes it's good to sign up for something that's just maybe like a tad above your level, because you always ride. That's why on the open programming, they'll put something that's just outside of our grasp, and tear jerker moments every single year when you see somebody doing a chest to bar, doing a bar muscle for the first time, hitting a number with the bar, but they never touched before. So that's an amazing part of the competition aspect, as long as we're keeping it healthy, keeping it positive, and realistic is a big thing as well.
Realistic, for sure, On competitions, there's nothing I hate more than sandbaggers.
I know.
Like, nothing I hate more than sandbaggers. When you sign up for a competition, there's usually categories. RX, intermediate, scaled are the most common ones. You look at the standards, and there's sometimes one skill movement in one of those categories that bumps people down. And then you get to the competition and you don't have any fun because there's somebody that should have been in that division up, even though there was just that one skill movement that they're like, well, I can't really do that well, but they just obliterate the rest of the competition. Don't be a sandbagger. No one likes you, and like, you make the competition not fun. Everybody's talking about you.
Yeah.
Now, if it's an accident, you've never done competition before, okay, but like, talk to the people at your gym, us, and we'll help you pick that right category. Now, if you've never done a competition before and you're newer to CrossFit and you're like, I don't know that I'll ever be at a competition level, because even a lot of scaled like divisions now are like, they're kind of a stretch. Like, they're not like entry level comp, and I hate that, because there should be something for people that are just getting started, that don't have all those skills yet. That's a whole another episode that I could talk for hours on. But Festivus, for the rest of us, it's a really, really fantastic competition. They don't have an RX division. There is a beginner novice division, I think is what they call it, and an intermediate. And so it is meant for people that have never done a competition before, that have no idea what their Fran time is, no idea how long it takes them to row a 2K row, and have been doing CrossFit for less than like 6 months. So if you've never done a competition and you're like, I might want to see what this is about, look at Festivus, let me know. I would love to go with you. Like, Ariel's done it several times. She did her first individual comp this year. She signed up for the intermediate with Festivus. That was really cool to see. But she done Festivus as a beginner novice for a few times, did it with her mom. They're so much fun. I've seen a lot of people do their first competition, and the atmosphere there is even more like community oriented than all other CrossFit comps, because like, we're trying it out. Like, we're seeing what this comp thing is about. We also host Barcode, and we try to make that scale division very entry level,
very accessible
for everybody to try out as well. So that'll be coming up in the fall. Very excited about that. We just scheduled our first like sit down chat meeting about that. But everybody can
October 5th, right?
October 5th.
Our calendars now.
October 5th.
Yeah.
Write it down. But yeah, everybody can do CrossFit competitions. It may not be for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. We're not saying you have to go compete, but if you've ever thought, it'd be kind of fun, or I think I might want to try that, like, talk to us. We know about competitions. We can point you in the right direction, help you find that competition. A lot are going to require a partner. We can help you find that partner. I'm happy to partner, but then it's weird sometimes if you're just getting started, finding that right division. And I'm also big, like, keep chasing that next part. So my buddy and I that we're doing BCS with last year, we made the scaled division. They did qualifiers different last year, but we were in scaled. We got 10th. So this year we're like, we should probably go intermediate, right? No, we didn't win it. We weren't in the top 5 even, but like, we were high enough in that division that we feel like we need to push ourselves and go to that next division. I think that's an important part of competition, is push yourself up a division. Like, find that thing, be scared a little bit. We may not make BCS this year. That's okay. But we're trying that next division, and that's a way to see progress as well, is not making competitions and those qualifiers and like attacking it again next year, or a different one. Fun thing like that. All of that to say, don't be a sandbagger. Also, don't be scared to sign up for a competition. The worst thing that can happen is that you'll go and have a good time and do a good workout, right? Like, it's just another day ultimately. So
And there's worse things to do on a Saturday.
There's a lot worse things you could be doing on a Saturday. Yeah. Lots of stuff. Now, we mentioned at the very beginning, if I said competition and you like wanted to tune out, let's come back to that. Competition doesn't drive everybody. Leaderboard scares some people. That's okay. Leaderboard might be a mental like thing for you where you look at the leaderboard or you log your score and you don't want to look at the leaderboard, but you end up looking at the leaderboard to see how you did, and then you start beating yourself up about that. I get it. We don't want that, but we understand that happens. Log your stuff somewhere. Get a notebook. Log your scores down. In our app, you can log your score in a different spot where it doesn't even go to the leaderboard. I can show you how to do that if you really want to do that, because it's so important to know where you've been and know where you're going. And knowing those scores is so important for the future, especially on those named workouts. The weights, knowing what you did last time. We work percentages all the time, so if you don't have it written down somewhere, it's really hard to be able to go off of that. So find a spot, notes in your phone. There's other apps you can log your stuff. Like, find a way to keep track of that stuff, and challenge yourself. If you don't like the word compete, I think we all like a good challenge. So challenge yourself. Find that way. Yeah. I think that's everything about like competition. Again, I love competition, so we could talk for
we got White Tail Night Talk coming up a couple Fridays. So
we did not bring that up here. I will be back. I'm gonna.
Oh my gosh! Yes. So, that is sold out. That's gonna happen 2 Fridays from now. Drew's really excited about the Carme's got brewed up this year. T-shirts are gonna be delivered here in the next day or so. So I'm very excited about all that. He's already sent out, I think he did a post in the Facebook group, but sent an email, I think like last week, just reiterating, do not arrive before 6 p.m. if you are competing in that. Maybe bring some snacks or something just to replenish. For sure, bring some stuff to drink. And we'll probably be hanging out after we wrap up the competition as well. But very, very fun environment. It's only Grand Mesa CrossFit members are going to be doing it. Drew messaged and let us know that the trophy was ready for that as well. So
y'all,
to unveil the coveted.
Check this thing out. If you're not watching this right now and you're just listening, you need to turn the camera on and not the camera, but the screen on and go, come look at this. White Tail Night Tails world champion. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so excited. This might go home with me before the competition.
It's like that scene from Napoleon Dynamite. I want this.
Oh, I'm excited, y'all. It's going to be fun. So pumped about White Tail Night Tails coming up.
So White Tail, it's the 14th. Some of us are doing the BCS qualifier. That's workouts have already been released for that. There's still time to sign up if you want to do that.
Yeah, they're not due until the 16th.
Right.
So there's only 4 workouts. Really, really fun workouts. Yeah. Done 2 of them now. So.
Competition-wise, are you still looking at the hockey thing or?
Doing hockey in the fall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at playing some hockey in the fall. So if you have equipment, like used equipment, that I'm 5'7" size 10 shoe. I've got to go through learn to skate and then learn hockey and
I'm
things.
So excited.
I think it's gonna be fun.
Before, yeah, he was just like, man, this whole learn and play new sports. And some of you are playing sports. I want to play a sport too.
That's right. So, yeah, Pete, honestly, he was a big one. He plays flag football every Monday. I don't know if his season's still going or not, but he's like, man, I got a football game tonight. He's in here working out and then goes and plays football 2 games sometimes. I'm like, Pete, you're right. I need to go play some sports. So I've always I have a stick. I've got gloves. I started to want to play a while ago and then just didn't. So I was like, you know what? I need to go learn how to play hockey. So
yeah.
Go on that experience. It'll be fun.
Well, we'll have another whole other podcast on the different sports people are playing on here. Obviously, we have our CrossFit competitions that are on our calendar. I'm signing up for the Austin Open IBJJF, which is Jiu-Jitsu. That's going to be here in Round Rock in July, the end of July, and then family's throwing around possibly us taking off to Vegas sometime in August for a higher level jiu-jitsu competition. So that may happen as well. So what else? The games is going to happen first part of August. So we're going to hit the road.
Week or so.
Yeah. And we go watch the top 1% of the 1%.
I think.
Promise not to spend money on too much this year in Vendor Village.
It's easier this year. We don't have to get it back on a plane. We're going to have cars there.
I know.
It's going to be harder not to spend money this year.
I know.
we can get everything back.
Best Babes Comp is coming up, and it's October 16th. That's our friends at CrossFit Lake Travis.
Yes.
Their owner, Carly DeMonico, actually earned a game spot for 40 to 44 division.
Group, yes.
Yeah, so
amazing. Really great human.
All female competition. They are going to have teens and preteens. She let me know that as well. Registration is going to go live for that soon as well. So
what's the date for that again?
The 16th of October.
16th of October. Sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be the weekend after Barcode.
Yeah.
So if you want any information on that, we'll post that out as well. We really want to support them. They're going to support us when Barcode comes up, and we'll start blasting that information as well. But that's all I got for y'all.
June 22nd, for our community workout, we are doing, I forgot the workout
Catch a Lift.
now. Catch a Lift is that the foundation, I think, that helps veterans pay for gym memberships and things like that and work out. And so we're doing a fundraiser. We'll put that link out there that you can send to people to get money donated. But the workout is accumulating, I think it's 6 minutes, might be 8 minutes. Man, I cannot remember the name.
Jim's the point of contact on this. Well, if you have any.
But accumulating a hang from a pull-up bar for 6 or 8 minutes. And each time you drop, you have to run a 400 and then do some power cleans, I believe. So that'll be a fun community workout. So I think he's gonna have a couple of vendors here. I think Noco Hannah might be here and some other things. So that'll be a fun community workout to come to that day. Get the word out about that. Tell your friends. Always tell your friends about us. We have a referral program, $60 off your next membership fee, $60 off their first one. Bring your friends. Like, you're having fun, you're getting healthy. Why not tell your friends about it? Tell everyone. So I think that's it for Talk Fit today. Join us next week. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but join us next week. We'll see y'all.
Probably be cleaner.
Yeah, man, I don't know.